Hello, and I welcome you to the UPSC Prelims Chaturya series of Shantha Lakshmi IAS Academy, wherein we would be discussing daily 5 prelims MCQs from the daily news of the Hindu, Indian Express, and PIB. So let's get started. The first question: consider the following statements regarding Dam Safety Act 2021. Statement 1: the National Dam Safety Authority is headed by chairman and assisted by 5 members. Second one, the Act provides for the surveillance and maintenance of the dams to prevent disasters. Third one, the Act covers all the dams across the India. Fourth, the National Committee on Dam Safety will be constituted under this Act and will be chaired by the chairperson of the Central Water Commission. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Option A, only 2, B, only 3, C, all 4, D, only 1. So we have been discussing this question with regard to the news that have appeared, wherein the National Dam Safety Authority has carried out inspection of Medikadda barrage of the Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project, wherein it has reported that there were faults in the design and in construction and operation and maintenance of this particular barrage. So in this context, you need to know about the Dam Safety Act 2021. So coming to the question, this National Dam Safety Authority is headed by chairman and assisted by 5 members. Yes, the first statement is the right one. And this act will provide for surveillance and maintenance of the dams to prevent disasters. Yes, second statement is also correct. Coming to the third statement, the act covers all the dams across the India. So this is not true, because this act wouldn't be covering all the dams across the India. It will cover only those specified dams with a height of more than 15 meters and the dams with a height of 10 to 15 meters. So the dams with a height of more than 15 meters and the dams with a height between 10 to 15 meters would be covered under this particular act. Last statement, the National Committee on Dam Safety will be constituted under this act and will be chaired by the chairperson of Central Water Commission. Yes, fourth statement is also correct. If we eliminate the third statement, 1, 2, 4, the 3 statements were correct. The question is, how many of the statements are correct? So only 3 statements are correct. Option B is the right answer. Let's have a brief idea about this Dam Safety Act 2021. So this act is for surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance of all specified dams across the country. Those dams with height more than 15 meters and the dams with height between 10 to 15 meters with certain design and structural conditions are covered under this act. Under this act, there are 2 national bodies. 2 national bodies were constituted under this act. The first one, the National Committee on Dam Safety. So this will oversee the policies and regulations regarding dam safety standards, and it will be chaired by the chairperson of the Central Water Commission. And the second body that was constituted under this act is National Dam Safety Authority. It's an implementing body. It will implement the policies of National Committee on Dam Safety, and it will also provide technical assistance to the dam safety organizations and resolves the disputes that involves an state dam safety organization. So it is headed by an officer who is not below the rank of additional secretary, and this officer is appointed by the central government and he would be assisted by 5 members. And at state level also, we have 2 bodies, that is state dam safety organizations that will inspect and monitor the dams, and another body is State Committee on Dam Safety that will review the works of the state dam safety organization, and it will supervise the state dam rehabilitation programs as well. So who are responsible for the safe construction, operation and maintenance of this and supervision of the dam? Dam owners are responsible for the maintenance and supervision of a dam. Under this act, it also provides for the establishment of National Dam Safety Fund and a State Dam Safety Fund for financing activities related to dam safety. So what is the status of dams in India? So India has almost 6,000 large dams, and out of them, about 80% of them are more than 25 years old. And according to a parliamentary panel, there are 234 functional large dams in India, which are more than 100 years old. So if India has the third largest number of dams in the world after China and USA. So this India has the third largest number of dams in the world after China and USA. The next question, with reference to Financial Action Task Force, consider the following statements. Financial Action Task Force is an intergovernmental body established in 1989 during the G4 summit. Second, the International Monetary Fund is an observer to Financial Action Task Force. Third one, so far no country is placed in FATF blacklist. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A, 1 only, B, 1 and 3 only, C, 1 and 2 only, D, 2 only. So we have been discussing this question with reference to a news article wherein FATF report has stated that a violent extremist organization in India has collected funds through well-structured networks such as crowdfunding. So in this context, we must know about Financial Action Task Force. Coming to this answer to this question, Financial Action Task Force is an intergovernmental body. It is established in 1989, okay, but it was established during the G7 summit in Paris, not G4 summit. So the first statement is wrong. Second statement is right. International Monetary Fund is an observer to FATF. Along with International Monetary Fund, World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and some other organization also acts as an observer to FATF. Third statement, so far, no country is placed in the FATF blacklist. So this option is wrong because as of now, the Myanmar, North Korea, and Iran are placed in the FATF blacklist. The third statement is also wrong. So right answer is second, 2 only. D is the right answer because the first statement is also wrong because this FATF is established during the G7 summit. Third statement is also wrong. Only the second statement is right. So option D is the right answer. So this FATF was established in the year 1989 out of a G7 meeting of a developed nations. It has 39 members. Out of it, 37 were countries and 2 were regional organizations. These regional organizations were European Commission, which is the European Union's executive body, and the second regional organization is Gulf Cooperation Council. India joined this particular FATF in 2006 with observatory status, but it became a full member in 2010. So what was the objective of this FATF? It will review the money laundering and terrorist finance techniques, and it will regulate the countermeasures as well. It will promote the adoption and implementation of FATF recommendations globally. And under this, we have 2 types of list, blacklist and grey list. Coming to the grey list, FATF will include the countries in grey list that are considered as a safe haven for supporting terror funding and money laundering. The countries which were considered as safe haven for supporting terror funding and money laundering are placed under the grey list. The grey list acts as a warning to the country. If the country doesn't take enough measures to curb the money laundering and anti-terrorist activities, anti-terror funding, then it may enter into the blacklist. So to pull out a country from the grey list, a country has to fulfill the tasks that were recommended by FATF. If FATF is satisfied with the progress, it removes the country from the grey list. And when the country that was included in the grey list will face relatively less sanctions compared to the country that was placed in the blacklist. In blacklist, it includes the countries that would support the terror funding and money laundering activities. The countries that were included in the blacklist were called as non-cooperative countries or non-cooperative territories. So these enlisted countries in both the list are subjected to economic sanctions from the financial institutions such as IMF, World Bank, and Asian Development Banks. And it would also face the problem in getting loans from such institutions. And the third one, there would be reductions in international trade, and it would also face an international boycott. Coming to the third question, with reference to Nilgiri tar, choose the correct statements. It is endemic species of the Western Ghats. Second, it is listed as vulnerable in the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. Third, it has been designated as a state animal of Kerala. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. So there was a news regarding this because Tamil Nadu has allotted 25 crores to the project Nilgiri Tar that was launched in 2022 to protect and conserve the animal, this Nilgiri Tar. So that's why Nilgiri Tar is in the news. We must know about this Nilgiri Tar. Coming to the answer, it is an endemic species to the Western Ghats. True. It is listed as vulnerable in IUCN Red List. No, it is listed as endangered. It is listed under endangered category. So second statement is wrong. Third statement is also wrong because Nilgiri tar is a state animal of Tamil Nadu, not Kerala. So how many of the statements given above are correct? Only one statement is correct. So answer A, option A is the right answer. So this Nilgiri tar is a unique mountain ungulate that is found only in southern India. It is endangered species and endemic to Western Ghats. It has remarkable climbing abilities. Earlier, it was widespread across the Western Ghats, but now it is confined to only a fragmented areas of the Western Ghats. So the Eravakulam National Park in Kerala is a home to the largest population of the Nilgiri tar. So this Nilgiri tar is a Tamil Nadu state animal, and the state celebrates October 7th as the Nilgiri tar day because to honor the hunter turned conservationist, that is ERC Davidar. To honor him, they would be celebrating October 7th as Nilgiri tar day. Nilgiri tar has a historical significance as well. It has finds mentioned in one of the earliest Tamil epic, that is Silpatikaram. In this, it is mentioned as Varai Adu. Coming to the conservation status of the Nilgiri tar, it is under endangered category of IUCN Red List, and it is protected under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Fourth question, consider the following statements with respect to rabies. Statement 1, it is a vaccine preventable zoonotic viral disease affecting the central nervous system. Second, the rabies is present on all continents except Antarctica, and it can affect only domestic animals. Third, Bhutan is the first country to sterilize all stray dogs in the world. How many of the statements given above are correct? Option A, only one. Option B, only two. Option C, all three. Option D, none of the above. So the question is about incorrect statements. We have been discussing this question because Bhutan has become the first country to sterilize all the stray dogs that were present in its country after a 14-year-long project. So that's why rabies was in the news. Coming to the answer, rabies is a vaccine preventable disease. Yes, it is a zoonotic disease because it is transferred to humans through dogs. It is also a viral disease, and it will affect the central nervous system of humans as well. So rabies is present on all continents except Antarctica. Yes. And the other part of the statement says that it can affect only domestic animals. No, it will affect the domestic as well as wild animals as well. Bhutan is the first country to sterilize all stray dogs in its country. Yes, because that's why the rabies. This is the news, right? Bhutan is the first country to sterilize all stray dogs in the country. That's why the rabies was in news. So the third statement is also correct. Only second option is incorrect. How many of the statements given above are incorrect? Only one statement is incorrect. So option A is the right answer. We have discussed that it can affect both domestic and wild animals. And rabies is one of the neglected tropical disease that will predominantly affects the marginalized, poor and vulnerable populations. Coming to the symptoms of the rabies include fever, pricking, burning sensations at the wound site, etc. Coming to transmission, people are usually affected because of a bite or scratch from the animal with rabies. Mostly it would be because of a dog. And another way it would be transmitted to other person is if a saliva of the infected animals comes in direct contact with the mucosa, that is eyes and mouth or fresh skin wounds, then the person would be affected with rabies. And coming to the World Health Organization, the World Health Organization has included rabies in 2021 to 2030 roadmap for the global control of neglected tropical disease. Under this, it would be giving targets to various countries for the elimination of the targeted diseases. Coming to the last question, what is NAM 200 organized by the Sri Lankan government? Option A, Summit on the Maritime Security. Option B, a military exercise with India. Option C, a commemoration of the arrival of Indian origin Tamils in Sri Lanka. Option D, cultural festival showcasing Sri Lankan heritage. So this has been in news because recently Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has arrived Sri Lanka for a 3-day visit, wherein they would be discussing about cooperation on aviation, oil exploration, grid connectivity, etc. Along with that, they would be also discussing economic issues, wherein because Sri Lanka has been facing economic crisis since a year, they were Union Finance Minister would be discussing about the restructuring of the loans as well. So in this context, in this visit, she has also attended an event known as NAM 200 event. So this event is all about commemoration of the arrival of Indian origin Tamils in Sri Lanka. So why NAM 200? Because it is commemorating the 200th anniversary of the arrival of Indian origin Tamils to Sri Lanka. So option C is the right answer. So by this we will be concluding this session. I hope this session was helpful. Thank you.